Hello there, fellow film fiends and celluloid cunts. We talk about a lot of pretty heavy subjects on this channel, but sometimes a pretentious fiend just wants to rant, and fucking rant I shall. You see, I've watched a lot of films, and a lot of it pisses me off, and that's what we're here to discuss today. Things that grind your experience within a film to a halt. Surely I could do something meaningful with this episode, 5 things that piss me off about journalism, which would, in all honesty, be a very good episode. Anyway, let's get this ADD-ridden fiend back on track. The Liar Revealed. Without a doubt, one of my most despised things to ever witness in a film. I would honestly, and I mean this with all my heart, watch a worse movie that does not have this trait than watch a better movie that does have this trait. The Liar Revealed is basically what happens when you have the protagonist, who has been either harboring a big secret or some sort of lie, comes clean, always around the 3/4 mark, and it just fucking puts the movie on pause, kills any momentum the story has, and it's always the same from then till the end of the film. They mope around like a sack of sad shit for way too long, and whatever group of people that they are amongst ostracize them, and then somehow through magic, everyone just re-accepts this person. They don't learn anything. They are just magically absolved of their sins. It's like watching a commercial. It doesn't have any value. It has no character progression, no moral progression, nothing. It's always kind of framed weakly in this way that it's meant to show you that they would have been fine without that lie. Aladdin would have been completely fine to approach the princess as a street beggar and not the prince, and that the strength was within them all along. But that's bullshit. If you want to make a movie about people learning from their mistakes, then fucking make that movie. Make a movie where those transgressors appear at the start and give time to this person learning from their mistakes. Show us them actually experiencing rock bottom and how it is they came to realize the woes of their ways, or how it is that they clawed their way back into regular life. A really similar thing to The Liar Revealed is the breakup. 3/4 of the way through the film, the romantic couple or the potential couple part ways, hate each other for a moment, and they play this fucking annoying game of will they, won't they, will they ever find love again? They fucking will. We all know they will. We know what this story is. Ooh, that was aggressive. You can, and people have, made very compelling movies about this period, about the breakup period, and how both parties emotionally navigate this very complex landscape. But no, go stare into the fucking middle distance, and then we just go, fuck it, I don't want to die alone, you'll do. These are both just such cheap ways to add conflict to a character. The straw man. Now, straw man in movies is really based off, of course, the straw man fallacy, a debate technique in which you exaggerate and distort your opponent's point of view, and then you fight the distortion as opposed to actually arguing what they were saying. You show them in such an exaggerated, falsified way that it is easy to blow them down. As an example, Stephen von Baublethwang here says, we should raise the unemployment payment to assist with the economy and help those in financial need. And Hamish Hans Girthchild replies, no, that would be communist. And how many people died under Stalin's rule? So why is it that you're suggesting that the government should kill civilians? Why would you ever suggest that? Stephen would then realize that Hamish was a cunt. Now, this is mostly done in order to either attack a real-world opinion or for the confirmation bias of another. Now, this pisses me off because it's nearly always presented as an actual argument or a real viewpoint you would come up against in the world. And so viewers walk away from these cinema experiences genuinely thinking this is how the world works, and that has some actual real-world repercussions. As a bit of an example of this, in the Christian film God's Not Dead, Kevin Sorbo's character is an atheist college professor that physically abuses and bullies and heavily debates a student due to that student's faith, who is a smarmy, egotistical, awful human being. He could just be playing me. And everything this character does and by extension everything his belief represents, is so shitty that no matter what the Christian characters do in this film, they are immediately the good guy. And so you have these poor people leaving the cinemas thinking that that's what they're going to come up against in reality. And straw man arguments never yield a better film or a better plot. Weakens your characters and weakens their motivations, because you put up these characters that are meant to be strong against nothing. You put them up against such a fallacy that there was never any competition. Teenagers and children in movies. God, they are fucking annoying. And this is not because real teenagers are annoying. Most of them aren't. But teenagers in movies are the most disaffected, mopey, depressed, sad sack of shit I have ever witnessed. I'm dizzy. They exist only to make stupid, irrational decisions, hate their parents, and then they fucking mope. This is just not what teenagers are like. When I see a teenager in a film, I truly believe that the writer hates them. The writer is the most disgruntled, resentful father that just has never had a conversation with their fucking kids in his life, and I'd hate to believe that this is how those writers actually view their own children. It is so rare to find well-written, well-fleshed out teens in films that have their own desires, their own wants, because that's what it's like to be a teenager. You're figuring out who you think you're meant to be. You have a lot of serious questions about the world. And this also extends to children in movies and TV. They either hyper over adorable with a little wisp and cute little quotes, or they are weirdly wise and oddly knowledgeable, and fuck that. It reminds me of those Facebook posts that just say, "Today, my 4-year-old came up to me in a time when I was stressed. She looked me in the eye and said, 'Sometimes we are overburdened with the world, but this happens so that we can see the light and that we know the happy times when they come and how glorious those days are.'" No, your 4-year-old is not a philosophy PhD major. You, madame, are a liar. I know what kids talk like. This.
Saturn is a planet made of gas, and it has rings. The rings are made of ice. Do you have a favorite planet? The moon is not a planet. You can't pick the moon. It's not a planet.
That is awesome and notable, little one. I am super glad and happy that you are curious about the world and you have questions that need answers. But right now, it's daddy's drinking time. Characters bending to prove a point. In film, if you have a message you are trying to convey, a point that you're trying to make, your point will be all the stronger by having your characters making real choices that those characters would actually make. But very often I'll see a movie, generally an art film, something that's a bit more explicit with its message, something that's a bit more intense with its message, where people make choices simply to prove the point, but sometimes I struggle then to imprint on these characters and feel sympathy for them if they're making these wildly stupid choices. This rubs up against my viewing experience in the wrong way, because it feels sometimes like you're trying to take a 3-dimensional, breathing, living character and put them into a 1-dimensional picture frame. This is the problem that many people had with something like Game of Thrones, where they switched the characters to fit the little box they wanted to get to. But the characters were moving now. They had life. Those people would not have chosen that path. So that can really piss people off because it doesn't feel genuine. Forced intelligence. I love things where I can sit there and go, yes, very, yes, clever, yes. I do love a smart, forward-thinking character, but so often intelligence in film only put forward because of something we could call writer's clairvoyance. Of course they seem intelligent because the writer writing them knows how the story's going to end, and so they know how the story's going to end. They don't build a reason for that intelligence. Look, it's so far stretching the intelligence of this person and their ability to compute future possibilities borderlines insulting, because you don't get a chance to actually see this person be very intelligent within a real framework. It's the brainiac version of Deus Ex Machina. But of course we come to the end of our little venture together. Let me know in the comments what sort of traits in films and TV you hate. And as always, the embarrassing part where I ask for validation. Like, share, subscribe. Brandon Valentine here. I'll catch y'all next time.
You.
Me?
You on film.
I filming, yes, communicate.
You on film. Piss me off.
You hate me on film because this is an episode about what pisses you off on film?
Mr. Fucking Fancy Words.
Shut the fuck up.
Why don't you make me?
Fine. I'll I'll do it myself.
No!
I am inevitable.
I don't feel too good. Mr. Valentine.